The Kettle, the Stitcher, the Venator. 3 top-tier close-range weapons, just lost damage, headshot multipliers, and consistency. So what actually wins now in close-range fights? Let's break down the numbers. Let's quickly go over the changes. The Kettle's damage has been reduced from 10 to 8.5, the Stitcher has went down from 7 to 6.5, the headshot multiplier from 2.5 to 1.75, and the per shot dispersion has been increased by 50%. The Venator has went down from 9 damage to 8, and headshot multiplier of 2.5 to 2. Now we need to see how the damage works. My shield video breaks down how damage mitigation works. If you haven't seen it, check it out, linked here. So starting off with the Kettle, we've got 8.5 damage that will hit the shields, and this is reduced to 5.1, 4.9 and 4 for the 3 shields respectively. It will then take 14 shots to kill a light, 16 for a medium and 18 for a heavy. Now if you do your calculation, you will get 18, however this is leaving you with less than 1 health, as in a decimal between 0 and 1, and the game treats this as a death, so it's actually 17. Moving on to the Stitcher, we've got 6.5 damage that will hit the shields, 3.9, 3.7 and 3.1 for the 3 shields respectively. This results in a 19, 21 and 23 shots to kill. Again, this is not 21 as you're left with a decimal between 0 and 1, so only 20 shots. Finally, for the Venator body shots, that's 8 damage to the shields, 4.8, 4.6 and 3.8 to the health dependent on the shields. This will therefore take 8, 9 and 9 shots. I'm taking a shot as in one single trigger pull, which is 2 bullets in the Venator's case. Now let's move on to headshots. For the Kettle's headshots, it takes 8.5 damage to the shields, this is the normal damage from a normal shot, as the shields do not take headshot damage. 13, 12 and 10 for the reduced against the health bars. This results in 7, 9 and 10 shots for the 3 different shields respectively. For the Stitcher, this is 6.5 to the shields as usual, 7, 7 and 5 for the 3 different damage reductions respectively. This results in a 12, 14 and 16 shots to kill. For the Venator, it's 8 damage to the shields, 10, 9 and 8 for the 3 different shields respectively. This results in a 5, 6 and 6 shots to kill. Again, this is trigger pulls and not bullets. For the time to kill, I'm going to assume you kill the person by hitting all of your shots in a row. No missed shots or damage drop off. For the calculation of the time to kill, it's shots to kill minus 1 divided by shots per second. For the Kettle, we're using 7.5 rounds per second. This is different from the rounds per second that I had in my Kettle video, but that is because they reduced it to be more in line with the Berletta. For the shots to kill, that's 14, 16 and 17 for the 3 different shields respectively, resulting in a 1.7, 2.0 and 2.1 time to kill. For the headshots, that's 7, 9 and 10 for a 0.8, 1.1 and 1.2 time to kill. Overall, that's an extra 2, 3 and 2 shots to kill for 0.3, 0.4 and 0.3 extra seconds to kill. For the headshots, it's plus 1, plus 2, plus 2, and that's 0.1, 0.3 and 0.3 extra time to kill. For the Stitcher, it's 19, 20, 23. This results in a 1.6, 1.7 and 1.9 time to kill. For the headshots, that's 12, 14 and 16, resulting in 1.0, 1.1 and 1.3 seconds to kill. So that results in a plus 2, plus 1 and plus 2 shots to kill, and plus 0.2, 0.1 and 0.2 time to kill. For the headshots, that's plus 3, plus 4 and plus 5, resulting in plus 0.3, plus 0.4 and plus 0.4 time to kill. Now the Venator's a little bit different because it's got the 4 different levels. I'll be looking at 7.5, 7.5, 9.2 and 10 rounds per second as shown in purple. Now you'll notice that 7.5 and 7.5 for the first 2 levels of the Venator doesn't really make sense, but this was discussed in my Venator video. For the level 1, that's 1.9, 2.1 and 2.1 time to kill against the 3 different shields. Same for level 2. A level 3 is 1.5, 1.7 and 1.7. And finally for the level 4 is 1.4, 1.6 and 1.6. This results in a 0.3 extra second time to kill for the light and medium because they have the extra 1 shot, whereas the heavy doesn't have any extra shots, so is 0 across the board. For a level 2, that's an extra 0.3, and for a 3 and a 4, that's an extra 0.2 seconds. Now let's move on to headshots. The light shield is different from the medium and heavy, but the medium and heavy are the same as each other. For a level 1, that takes 1.0 seconds or 1.3 seconds, shield dependent. Same for a level 2. For a level 3 is 0.9 and 1.1, and for the level 4, 0.8 and 1. Let's have a look at the time difference. So for the light, it takes an extra shot, same with the heavy. However, the medium takes an extra 2 shots. This results in a time difference of 0.3 for a level 1 for a light and heavy, and 0.5 for the medium. This is the same for level 2. A level 3 is an extra 0.2 and 0.4 seconds, and for a level 4, it's the same. Now let's move on to the recommended attachments. For the Stitcher especially, the Compensator 1 and 2 are going to be invaluable. It now has an extra 50% per shot dispersion, which is going to make your first shots really inaccurate. Therefore, by putting a compensator 1 or 2 on it, or a 3 if you want to burn through it, then you'll be able to get more kills, and your max shot dispersion is going to be less as well, which is nice. Now let's have a look at magazines. I think we all agree that magazines are pretty useful. However, now I think they are essentially mandatory for these 3 guns. Until you get used to how many shots it takes to put someone down, you are going to be missing more shots, and you're going to think you're going to kill someone and need an extra shot to kill them. By taking the extra magazine, you just get that little bit more wiggle room, a bit more safety and more confidence, and you will win more fights this way. They were already good, now they're better. Let's have a look at the mathematically tested leaderboard. This is what it was as of my last video. You can see the Venators in space 1, Stitcher in 3, and the Kettle in 4 and 5 depending on the shield. This is the times to kill pre-nerf if you care about it. There's also 6, 7 and 8 where the Kettle comes in at 6 against the heavy shield and their respective values. And this is what it looks like now. You'll notice the Venator still comes in at 2nd instead of 1st, so it's still very effective, and that's good considering it's a rare weapon. What I find very interesting is that the Arpeggio has now taken number 1. Not only is it a jack of all trades that can fire at medium to long ranges, but it will gun people down at close ranges. On top of this, it's only an uncommon weapon, so it's cheaper. These are the stats in terms of time to kill for all the weapons here. We also need to look at the 6, 7, 8 and now 9 slot, as the Kettle does not equal the Berletta anymore. As the Berletta has slightly more damage, but still the same fire rate, the Berletta is taking over what the Kettle used to do, and the Kettle is now going back into its medium range slot as Embark intended. Of course, the Stitcher is now in 6th, and the Kettle in 7th. These are the time to kill, for your reference. This is how the leaderboard has changed overall. The Kettle has went from 5th to 7th, 4th to 7th and 6th to 7th against the 3 different levels of shield. The Stitcher has went from 3rd to 6th across the board, and the Venator from 1st to 2nd. Now let's look at the detailed leaderboard. I've highlighted the weapons and the different categories that have actually changed. So the time to kill, the damage and the mag hit percentage are the only stats that have changed due to this update. The Kettle was in 1st for time to kill, the Stitcher in 4th. The Kettle was 5th for the damage, and the mag hit percentage the Kettle had 4th. Overall the Kettle was just winning most slots here. So now the Arpeggio takes number 1 for the time to kill, and the Rattler comes in at 5th, overtaking a Stitcher and a Kettle. Now it can't just be me that's highly surprised about this. They're actually trying to make the Rattler useful? Wow. The Kettle is now in the 5th slot for the mag hit percentage, down from 4th, and again the Rattler is overtaking the Kettle. What is going on here, boys? So what does all this mean? The nerfs aimed at 3 of the best weapons in close quarters combat means that you aren't going to turn a corner and get gunned down before you can even fire. It means that there's going to be less rats because there's no value here in taking them in, or at least less value. Unless you're taking in a Venator, which is at least slightly more expensive, while still retaining its ability to kill, as it should, since it's rare. Now they just don't feel overpowered and they should just slot into their own niches, unlike they would before, especially for the Kettle, where it just overshadowed the Berletta. Furthermore, Arpeggio and Rattler are actually becoming usable. Now I loved the Arpeggio, and well, I don't really want to talk about the Rattler, but actually having a reason to take them, rather than just taking the meta weapons, is great for the game. The Torrente and El Toro can still be used in close quarters combat instead of a Stitcher or Venator, and you can just gun people down as fast as what they used to be able to do. And finally, the Berletta actually has its own space. You can take it in as a great sidearm instead of just taking a Stitcher or a Kettle as you always used to, and it can actually be valuable. Join the MinMax Lab Discord to discuss ArcRaiders and general min-maxing, link in the description. If you think I've missed something or made a mistake, let's discuss it in the comments, as many eyes are better than one. I'll be making mathematically correct ArcRaiders videos. If you want to raid with maths on your side, please subscribe.